right, let's go to Thursday night college football action. SMU, East Carolina. We've got SMU 9-point favorites at the open on the road, but now up to 11.5, 12-point road favorites here. 51.5 the total. And it's been rough here for Mike Houston, who's a good coach that's just stuck in a season where, you just lost too much talent, too much good, on both sides, too many good players on both sides of the football last year. You're having big time problems this year. Again, they lost to Rice 24-17 in their most recent game a couple of weeks ago. Not necessarily what you want to see. They got blown out by App State by double digits, lose by 18 against Marshall, blown out by Michigan in their season opener. So it's been a rough go of it. Their only win is against an FCS opponent in Gardner-Webb. This squad has not beaten an FBS team yet this year. So it's been all kinds of issues here for East Carolina. You've got SMU coming off a 34-16 win against Charlotte, where they were kind of lackluster. I think they were kind of, after the TCU loss, which took a lot out of them. It was a workmanlike effort. They got the job done, but it was far from dominant for SMU. I got to admit, it's been a bit of a step back here these last two games for Preston Stone. A quarterback I like, but only 14 of 23 for 135 passing yards against Charlotte. Good news for them is Jalen Knighton, the really good running back, got going on the ground for this SMU offense. But I don't know. He hasn't played nearly as well here these last two games. Can he get the offense revved up here, though, against ECU, a defense that actually against the run, it hasn't been that bad so far this season. Passing yards, 210 allowed per game. But the problem for East Carolina is the offense has really, really struggled. And now you've got a situation, Holton Ahlers was a pretty good quarterback for this team, and they just have not been able to duplicate that production. And we've seen a little bit of both quarterbacks this season. We saw Alex Flynn in the loss to Rice, 21 of 44, 246 passing yards, fewer than 50, sub 50% completions. That's definitely something you don't want to see. He's got one touchdown and 5 interceptions and a 49% completion rate. He got the start after Mason Garcia, got benched. His numbers are, 58%, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So you've got these two quarterbacks that have combined for ECU this year, 2 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. That is a horrific ratio. It's not going to get the job done. It's one of these games where I can't back ECU, but do I want to lay 11 on the road with SMU? I'm not sure. As of right now, pass for me. C-Mac, what do you think here?
Yeah, I don't really want to lay 11 with SMU. Yeah, they're the better team. I think Stone's, showing who he was. I think there's a little too much hype. I think he's a pretty good quarterback. In the past, even before Ahlers, these games, because I went back through it last night, were just shootouts, a ton of points. But man, then you look back the last few years when they played. But this East Carolina team's just different. They're having a tough time scoring, like you talked about. The quarterbacks haven't been good. The defense hasn't been good. I mean, where they had 17 against Rice, I guess the offense has perked up a little bit lately. This is just rough for ECU. Even a double-digit dog, I can't look their way. This is one I'm off.
He's thrown 11 touchdowns this year, Stone, but sub 60% completion rate. I thought it would be a little bit higher than that. Maybe this is good. I do worry that this could be one of those games that's a breakout game for SMU on offense. And the betting markets seem to think so. Because again, this opened at 9 and it's up to 11 now up to 12 now with SMU as road favorites.